All right. I think we got this. No, wait, hold on. Oh, because this stopped. Great. Hold on one second. We're trying to stream to a few different places, so bear with us. We had to start another live here because we were having problems. Kick off. Bear with us. Public next. Okay. Let's see here. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, the exciting behind-the-scenes look at tech support.
Oh, it's not letting me. Okay, Instagram isn't going to go live. Okay, that's cool. We are here on Facebook. I think we got it. Does it look like it's working?
Give it a sec.
All right. the fun dealings with technology. So we got mostly everything to work except for Instagram, which whatever. We'll do that tomorrow. But hello and welcome. We're so glad to have you. David is here with me today, which I'm really excited about.
What's up, everybody?
So if you've been in our private Facebook group, you have noticed that we've been making some changes lately. We are now Divorce Support, Heal, Rebuild, and Thrive, which we're really excited about. I think it kind of explains a little bit better what we really do, because it's from anywhere from that pre-thinking about ending a relationship all the way to ending it on the other side, wanting to rebuild, and even possibly maybe date and not repeat old patterns. So we are really excited to be able to really showcase some of the great work that we're doing. We have some really great connections. And so we thought about what we could do special for Valentine's Day. And I know that people are in all different areas of their healing when it comes to these unhealthy relationships. So I wanted to really really showcase the experts that we have that are available to support you, because we talk all the time about making sure that we have our right support system in place in order to really make the big changes that we're looking to make. So before we go any further, what I'd like to do is, some of you might be brand new. Maybe this is your first time tuning in. So maybe somebody invited you to this. So I wanted to welcome you, but I also wanted to kind of give an introduction about us, because we don't just do this for fun. This is something that we are super passionate about. We have a lot of reasons of why this is so important to us. So we kind of want to share a little bit about that before we go in and kind of tee up what the next 2 weeks are going to look like here in Divorce Support and on the other social medias that we're going to be on as well. Let me just say too, that if you are not in our private Facebook group, that is the only place you're going to be able to watch the replays. So if you are watching from any of our other platforms, I definitely recommend going over to our FB. I'm not going to say it out loud in case some of the social medias don't like when we talk about others. But if you go to FB and you go over to Divorce Support, Heal, Rebuild, and Thrive, you can join that, and then you can watch the replays if you don't get to watch this live. So let me first introduce my husband, David, we have been working together doing this full time for about 6 years now. I started this business in 2014, and for a while I was doing it by myself, and then I brought David along, and we have been working together ever since. So let me introduce David, let him share a little bit about himself, and then we will go on from there. Welcome, David.
Well, thanks. Yeah. Hey, everybody. So this whole process that we're about supporting you is about, again, heal, rebuild, and thrive. Most of us can relate to, certainly most of us watching can relate to the idea of having dealt with the struggles of toxic relationships. Relationships where we sold ourselves on the clearance rack, we weren't our authentic selves. Maybe it's a holdover from trauma, abuse, upbringing, stuff like that. But this is really all about transformation. And just to kind of give my own background for perspective, I struggled with low self-esteem, lack of a clear purpose and passion in my life, really no sense that I mattered. And it caused me to just struggle with suicidal depression for a number of years. I'm giving you the short version here, but the reason we're so passionate about what we do is because, we've been through that dark night of the soul, the ringer, the self-doubt, the fear, the worry, the confusion, anxiety, and stress. And we've come across the ways that have allowed us to completely transform our experience. Our passion is about sharing that with others. And, I wanted to say that for myself, a big shift was going from telling myself things to asking myself things. I think when it comes to creating real change in your life, one of the most powerful assets is your ability to ask good questions, because your mind will look for the answers depending on what you focus on. So our goal here is to sort of stir things up, switch it up a bit, and not even necessarily tell you all about our story as though, you know, what we found for ourselves is necessarily the best for you. But as coaches, as mentors, as change agents, our goal is to help shine a light on your potential, really breathe life back into your dreams, your ideas about what your life can really be about, not only in terms of love, but your health, your financial prosperity, virtually any area of life. And start shining a light by asking questions that are going to really bring to the surface what you really, 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 really want. And it's fundamentally a question of what you believe you're worthy, deserving, and capable of. Now, as we go through the series leading up to Valentine's Day, you know, we're going to shine some more light on that and give you some simple distinctions. You know, the not just information, but the nuance, the guidance that turns that into wisdom, so you can actually change your life and share some really important perspectives, not just from our viewpoint as coaches, but also a whole host of other people who are going to come on. So, you know, one thing I'll just say to sort of wrap up is I love the statement that says it's never too late to make new plans. And I think one of the biggest roadblocks for a lot of particularly professional women who come to us, they feel I'm too old, I'm too broken, my ship has sailed, I've been this way for so long, how can things possibly get different? But what I found, the reality is that you're never more than one thought away from peace. And we all say we want the better relationship, the better job, better health. I'm convinced we don't want the things. We want what we imagine having those things will allow us to feel. And I can tell you from authority, personally and professionally, that when you have that peace of mind, the rest of life is just details. It becomes a joyful adventure again. You don't have to obsess over the past or the future. You could be more in the flow, more genuine and authentic. You attract better people, circumstances, and relationships into your life. So that's sort of a nutshell version of it. But I'm excited to share this information, share a bunch of really great speakers and experts with you leading up to Valentine's Day, where hopefully you'll learn the power of being your own Valentine. So that's what this is about.
Well, thank you for sharing your background. I appreciate that. So, you know, I wanted to be able to really give David the chance to share his experience and what he's been through, you know, in order to get to this place. And I think, you know, again, it is so important for us to help you really create that new life that you are looking for. So thank you for sharing that, David. I appreciate that. So for myself, for those of you who haven't met me before, my name is Stephanie McPhail. I'm a love and life success coach. And I got here not because things have gone always right. I got here because things definitely did not. I went from one unhealthy relationship into another one, starting from childhood, and then just kind of led into finding very toxic people and then trying everything in my power to try and make it work. And although we do work with men as well, our private Facebook group is currently for women. Our big focus most of the time is working with professional women. And the reason for that is because I myself was someone who was so good at researching, at figuring things out, at not knowing when to let go, at being that pit bull that holds on and doesn't let go and wants to figure everything out, and felt like a failure when things weren't working. I realized there was a lot of other women that were feeling exactly the same. And so it had nothing to do with my intelligence. It had nothing to do with anything other than I didn't have the right tools. I didn't know how to speak up for myself. I was so used to people pleasing, type A, figured out on my own. I don't need anybody else's help. And I realized at a point that when I ended up in the hospital after a divorce, after everything going wrong in my life, and the dark night of the soul of just having trouble getting out of bed, doing daily activities, I suddenly heard a voice that said, "You need to be your own knight in shining armor." And I realized in that moment that it wasn't about me trying to figure it out on my own anymore. It was about really creating that team to create what it was that I was looking for, because the thought process that got me to that place was not going to be the same thought process that was going to get me out. And so in that moment in the hospital, it could have been a terrible time, but instead I took that as an opportunity to really start changing my life and create something that I was excited to wake up to every day, where I didn't need a relationship. I didn't need other people to make me feel better about myself. I felt I brought that in from within. And as I started to learn who I was and rediscover the great things about me that I've been putting off to the side to try to make everybody else happy, I decided, you know what, I'm okay if I end up being single for the rest of my life. And I started to live that way, where that this might be, I might not have children like I wanted. I might not have that great relationship. And because of that, I got to a point where I did not need to have a relationship in order to be happy. And now a lot of people might say, well, but I want a relationship. And I totally understand that. But we need to get to a place, because when we come from a place of need, we tend to attract unhealthy people, because the people that want people that need are the takers. So those tend to be the narcissists. They tend to be the people that haven't taken care of themselves, the people that take advantage of us for all of those things that would be really great for those of us who were actually doing the work and healing. And in that time is when I met a really great guy. I wasn't even sure if I was going to take it seriously, because he was super sweet, but he checked off everything on my list. And I almost broke up with him several times, because I was like, I like being single. I don't know if I want all these things. Maybe, maybe this isn't really what I want. And I kept thinking about, every time I would break it off or think about breaking it off, I would just have this feeling that I was really going to miss out on something really special. And I finally decided to stop dating the other guys I was dating, go full in and let this guy get a chance to the possibility. And that was 10 years ago. And we have 2 beautiful children together. And now I am lucky enough to have my husband work alongside me in helping with my vision, and our vision now of helping as many people as we can create lives that they're excited to wake up to every single day, whether or not they are in a relationship. And so this is really a great opportunity to just remind you that no matter what you've experienced, no matter where you are starting from, it is possible to create something different for yourself. Just like myself, when thinking we have to do everything on our own and figure it out on our own, I will tell you that even the most successful people in the world have a team to help them through some of the things that they don't necessarily know about. I would bet that if you are married and you're looking to end that relationship, you were not thinking that it was going to end in divorce. That is not what you wanted. And so having those experts to help you through something that you never wanted to experience, and hopefully never experience again. Let's help you make sure that that doesn't happen. But you want to have experts on your team to make sure that it goes as smoothly as possible, as pain-free as possible, and you pass through it quickly so that you can get to the other side and really create that amazing life. Did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, well, you know what, my takeaway, and I think an important distinction, from your story, is that life has no meaning other than the meaning you give it. A lot of times when we experience all this pain, we feel that life is happening to us. We want to help you shift to a perspective where you look at life as happening for you. That means there's meaning and purpose to the pain, right? And I've heard it said, pain is natural, but suffering is pain that for whatever reason we can't let go of. When you embrace the pain, not for the purpose of just beating yourself up, but looking for the lesson, you either learn or you win. And it really is just a change in your thinking, the way you perceive things, the thoughts you think, how you look at things. That shift in perspective can make all the difference. And even though it's tough to, see your way through it at the time, more often than not, in retrospect, you look back from this more elevated place of greater understanding, more wholeness, and more healing. And you recognize that every single challenge, every adversity that you've dealt with in your life has contained the seed of equivalent or greater benefit. So this isn't about just waving a magic wand and poof, you're healed, I'm blissed out and everything like that. It's about becoming a better sailor. It's not as though you live a life with no storms. You just get better at navigating those. And the waves that maybe used to crush you can actually propel you further than you ever dreamt possible. So I think an important takeaway is to understand that no matter what pain you're feeling right now, particularly if you've tried traditional therapy, support groups, researching narcissism, the 12-step programs, all of that, and you haven't really gotten the results that you want, I want you to give yourself credit, because you're probably a lot closer to a major breakthrough than you realize. But again, it's very often just a simple matter of a few shifts, a few new distinctions, ways of looking at things. Particularly when you start to consider the possibility that there's enough room in the universe for you to have a really happy, good life, regardless of where you came from. So, our goal is to entertain, to inspire, to educate, and sort of bring to light, maybe some of the self-limiting beliefs you've had about whether or not it's even possible for you. our goal over this series leading up to Valentine's Day is to give you a sense, at the very least, that change is possible when you have the right guidance to help you navigate the nuances of getting out of the situation you're in. The support really help boost your energy with people who empathize and know what you're going through. And most importantly, give you the tools to become the version of you that already exists right now in the quantum field, who experiences life the way you prefer to experience it, so you can shift into that. And again, my reason for saying that is the life that you're after, with more peace, joy, passion, and purpose, doesn't need to lie at the end of another 1, 5, 10-year road of more therapy, more, theirs from your friends and all that sort of stuff. Transformation isn't about acquiring or achieving something. It's really more about aligning with your highest virtues. And so that's our passion, because let's face it, tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. Most of you watching, probably like us, you've spent years grinding it out. There's really no time to waste. You don't get a merit badge for suffering. So we're all about, let's set that down, come to a safe, non-judgmental space, unpack the 3 sets of clothes you've been packing for whatever weather comes your way, and just walk more lightly and experience a more natural unfolding. And it's really a beautiful process. So that's what we're hoping.
And I always imagine 80s kid myself is He-Man when he says, "I have the power." That's really what it is to be able to feel empowered, to know that we can create something no matter what it is. It's not about, life happens, things going to get shitty sometimes. That's how life is. But knowing that we are the creators and it is possible for us to create that life that we want no matter what. Every day, every moment we get decisions or get that opportunity to make decisions for ourselves. And we want to really give you that power to be able to have that strength and really do all the great things you were put here to do. Because that's what I feel all the time so passionately about, is how long I stayed playing small and how much I did not get to live me because of that. And how many people that are maybe watching this right now, they're like, I've been playing small for a long time. I've been trying to make everybody else happy and I am not. And so these next few weeks are really about giving you that power to create that life, to be able to live in purpose, to do all those great things. Remind yourself that fire that's in your heart and in your soul that's saying, please, there's more for you out there. Go do those things. This is that reminder to do that in these next 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. The fundamental principle is you're way stronger than you've been led to believe. You're more powerful than you've been led to believe. And, if you don't have to, believe it's possible. You don't have to know how it's going to happen, but you do need to be able to ask, be willing. If you're willing to admit that what you've been doing hasn't created the life that you dreamed of, if you haven't let go of that spark of hope that you can actually have a really great, fulfilling life, not even in spite of what's happened, but because of that, because of having gone through all that pain, you have a greater capacity to receive and to experience gratitude. Just those couple prerequisites, and there's no limit to what you can experience. So we're really psyched to be able to bring that to
So
you.
who else is excited over these next 2 weeks? I see some of this. We have a bunch of different social medias up. I see some hearts going. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Keep that energy coming. Who is going to be making it for every single day of our Lunch and Learns at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Hopefully that's a you in the comments. Again, if you are on the other social medias and you are not in our private Facebook group, then I would definitely recommend to go over there. Females are accepted. You have to get around some other ways with the guys. We will work with you, but just to know, our private Facebook group currently is just for women, and it is called Divorce Support, Heal, Rebuild, and Thrive. You can watch the replays in there. For those of you who are in there right now, replays are available for you after the fact. So before, I want to get us psyched up here. So just to give you kind of a tee up, we're going to be going live every day at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like I said, all the way up until the 14th. So all the way up until Valentine's Day. We are going to be having some experts, and these are curated by me. These are people that I know personally, and I know that they are going to give you some really great information. So we have experts in financial advice, now specifically related to divorce and, rebuilding after divorce. Really important. I didn't know there was whole financial certification specifically just for divorce until I started to speak and meet more people. So we're going to have some experts in that. Mediation. There are a lot more people could be saving money on their divorces by going through mediation. Even if you believe it's a high conflict divorce, you might still be able to use mediation. So we're going to have some speakers on that. Divorce, so regular lawyers, we're going to have some lawyers coming on. We actually have a divorce coach also that specifically is there to help you save money during the divorce process, to make sure that you are all set up for your child care, for all that stuff that goes on with planning for your children, with setting up, breaking up finances, all that kind of stuff. So we have a divorce coach coming on. We're going to be talking about subconscious change, rebuilding your life, all those really cool, fun things. And if you're coming here tomorrow, maybe I'll give you a little sneak peek, is that David will be the person that will be doing the first training of all of this to really kick off all the trainings. Do you want to give a little taste about what you're doing?
No,
You're going to
have to wait and show up. Yeah, again, the principle is that you're more powerful than you've been led to believe, and your best life may lie just around the corner. I'm going to give you a high level view of what that looks like, and some strategies that you can implement right away to start crafting a new life. And it's a lot simpler and more elegant than you probably realize. So excited to share that.
Yeah, so he's going to share the rapid reset, really cool stuff. I talk about it all the time, but to have David share, like, he gets super passionate, and I do too, because I see the great results that our clients have by using this method that we use exclusively with our clients. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out with us. We really appreciate you. If you have not followed our accounts, if you're on the other social medias, definitely recommend doing that. And like I said, females, come over, please, and join Divorce Support, Heal, Rebuild, and Thrive so that you can watch the replays. Everybody else, make sure you are following these social media accounts so that you can get notifications when we go live. If you don't follow the account, you're not going to get notifications when we go live. And we want to make sure that you get that. And you can also get some of the other videos that we put out there as well in between these lunch and learns for the next 2 weeks. So on that note, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think they're excited?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a mind reader, but yeah, look, this is, we did this on purpose leading up to Valentine's Day because there's so much social conditioning around the holidays, so many expectations, a lot of disappointment. And one of the fundamentals, particularly when it comes to having great relationships, is you need to have a great relationship with yourself.
Yes.
It sounds like bumper sticker wisdom, but we're going to get into the nitty gritty about what that actually looks like and how you can get there. And the magical thing about it is that everything that you used to chase, thinking that it will make you happy, you have that peace and happiness inside because that's the state you prefer. All the things that you used to think would make you happy, they start showing up. It's like icing on the cake. It's gravy. And again, it happens a lot more quickly than you probably even imagined. So great stuff ahead. Hopefully we see you there.
So we'll see you tomorrow for my wonderful husband to be kicking off the first training tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are so excited for all of you to be able to join us, to learn, to share, and really help you grow, because that's what life is about: continually learning, continually growing. Create it, because let me just say this one more time. You were put here to do great things. You can't do it when you're trying to make everybody else happy. You've got to focus on you, and everything will go into place. It's not selfish to take care of you. You have to be the first person to do that for you. And then you can give from abundance all those great, wonderful things that you have to share with the world that needs those gifts.
100%.
So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And never forget, you are way stronger than you realize. Bye, everybody.
Bye, all.
Bye, buddy.